All right, you guys, welcome to the On Fire Empire team call. It is February 19th. We are over halfway through the month, which is absolutely crazy, especially with a short month. But we are changing some lives. I want to give some shout outs to our girls. Let me get it pulled up here. I have way too many tabs open, so do not judge. Let me see if I can do this on presentation mode or if it makes y'all leave. It's like frozen. Can you guys see it? Awesome. All right. We've got quite a few ladies already at Success Club 10. Shelby's at 24, Ashley Lamberth at 20, Jordan Young and that sweet baby are at 12, Emma Stewart, Jessica Turner, Jordan Welk, and Beth are all at 10. Let's see. We've got quite a few ladies already at Success Club for the month. Nicole Allen, Lindsay Backus, Leslie Sullivan, myself, Brianna Snyder, Audrey Haverkamp, Nicole Rackestra, Joanna Packer, Amy Bishop, and Ashley Ormson. And so many people on the board, changing lives, and we just need one or two more people to get those incredible prizes this month and that recognition with Team Cup. I'm so proud of you guys. Let's see, we've got a lot of people building our team this month. Emma Stewart and Ashley Lamberth both have added 5 new coaches to our team, which means they have locked in that $100 bonus when you sign 5 coaches within a month. So that is really exciting. Several ladies have added 3 coaches, 2 coaches, and so many have brought on at least one more person, you guys. That is so incredible. Something happened with my pictures on these reminders page, but I'm just gonna go with it. Don't forget, today, Fruit Punch Energize released. If you didn't know that, you may have been under a rock, but it is live. It is in share cart. If you had any share carts out that had the performance stack that had Energize in it, they are no longer gonna work. You need to go in and resend them because now you have to choose whether they want lemon or the fruit punch. We also have a fun giveaway going on in our team page. So whenever you order your fruit punch Energize, screenshot your order and put it in the comments of that post. And we've got 2 $20 gift cards and we've got some fun headbands that we're going to give away. Make sure you get those posted by tomorrow at midnight. So the Success Starters all started over. If you've never earned a Success Club point ever, you can become a Success Starter if you hit Success Club this month, March, and April. And that means that you will earn your free ticket to Summit this year, which is really, really exciting. Don't forget, Transform 20. All those packages are on the discounted price through the end of the month. So if you have anybody on the fence, make sure they know that that price is going to go up in March. And then don't forget, your Success Club points this month can earn you a spot in the Morning Meltdown 100 test group. There are 3 different categories. If you want more information on that, there's an FAQ. Could have pulled up the number for you, but I totally forgot. But go check that out to see what category you fall in. And you guys, being in a test group is so much fun that I really hope you guys are pushing for that, not only to change a lot of lives, but to have that experience. And Jericho's freaking amazing. So she's definitely somebody that I think would be an awesome trainer to be within a test group. So you guys, I hope you guys brought some pen and paper to take some notes. I'm super excited to have our guest speaker on tonight. This is Ashley Schoen. That's how you say it, right? Yes. Okay. So you guys, she posted in we have like this big 5-star and above group on Facebook, and she posted in there looking for some people to speak on her team call. And she gave a little rundown of like who she was and what her team was about. And I was like, I don't know if she needs any more people to talk on her team call, but I want her on our team call. So you guys, she signed up as a coach in August of 2017. She was a full-time nurse practitioner when she started, and she has a 2-year-old little boy. If you guys hopped on early, you heard us talking about she's in the middle of like moving, but she started last year as an Emerald coach, and she ended the year in the top 200 elite teams in Beachbody, meaning she and her team went 5-star and just did all the things. Like, freaking incredible, you guys. It does not have to be this long process. But I asked her a little bit about, just wanting her to share with us how she did it and how she rallied her team. And now she is able to step away from working full time. She just takes call a couple mornings during the week, which I think was really exciting for her. And one of the reasons you're getting to kind of make this move without a lot of pressure this time. So she hits Success Club consistently, said she averages about 20-25 between her different business centers. But I'm just going to throw it over to you, Ashley, and I'm so excited to hear how you and your team did this, and just take us through that process, girl.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having me. So you guys, I'll just give you a little bit more background, and I'm just going to walk you through the last 18 months of my life and how crazy this journey has been. So I grew up, I was always an athlete, always into sport, played volleyball, basketball, softball, continued with running track and cross country in college, where I went to school to be a nurse. And then I went back to be a nurse practitioner. I met my husband and got married and landed my first job as a nurse practitioner and was miserable. And soon came to find out how important it was to find gratification and satisfaction in your job. So we took a big leap and we moved to South Carolina, where I took my dream job as a nurse practitioner in a level 1 trauma center, which is where I worked for the last 3 years. I continued to run. I'm a big runner, so running 6 days a week, strength training in the gym, got pregnant with my son. There is no way I am not losing my shape. I'm going to go back to running, going back to the gym. It's all going to be great, right? New mom, like pre-mindset, pre-baby, totally out the window. So there's 2 things I was really worried about when I was pregnant. 1, obviously getting out of shape. 2, losing sleep, because I liked to sleep. And I saw this mom on Facebook talking about how she got her kid to sleep through the night. I'm like, sign me up. Like, went to her page and then like, oh wait, she has a 6-pack of abs? Dang, and she has a baby? Wait a second, she left a 6-figure job as an engineer to come home and coach people? What is this lady doing? She really got me as curiosity marketing. So again, like stressing that, how well she reeled me in, you guys. She talked to mom life. She talked about how she wanted to be home with her baby and not miss time with him. So I thought about coaching forever. I probably started following her when I was like 6 months pregnant. My husband was like, no way, you have to go back to work full time. So, okay, that was the plan. We're going to go back to work full time. And I had my son, and then I had some complications. So I had severe pelvic floor dysfunction. I could not walk from my door to my mailbox to get my mail. I had so much pain, which was really a struggle for me. I gained 30 pounds with my pregnancy despite being active, and I couldn't move. And then the day that went away, I started with symptoms that ended up being a 2-month scare with inflammatory breast cancer. And in those 2 months, everything changed. That fancy degree that I worked 6 years for didn't mean anything. It meant nothing. I just wanted time. And I vividly remember laying in bed, thinking of the letters I'd write my son for his first day of preschool, for his first kindergarten, his first dance, his wedding day, and when he became a dad himself. And it wasn't about me missing those things. It was about him not having me there for that. And I knew that if I could have time, I wanted time with him. And so suddenly I'm like, well, let's jump in a sneak peek and let's just see what this is about. I needed to get healthy, and there was no way I was making it to the gym with my crazy colicky baby and my work schedule. So I'm like, well, I need to get healthy. It worked for this lady. She's got a 6-pack of abs. Let's check it out. And if I can make any income to be home with my son, even if it's just part-time, it was worth it. And so I knew nothing about Beachbody. I had a pirated copy of P90X abs in college, and that's all I knew about it. But I didn't care. I was just so excited to be able to show up. And I loved health and fitness. So I'm like, let's share this journey. Let's see if I can help one other mom who felt as lost and broken in her skin as I did. So that's what I did. I showed up. I was 30 pounds overweight in my Coach Coming Out post, but I said, I'm going to get this off and I'm going to do it with you. So I just shared that. And I shared that every single day. It was never about like selling a challenge pack or getting the biggest numbers. It was, how many people can I reach? And so my first couple weeks as a coach, I was like, let's just get some friends and family in a group and let's get them to post. Because I knew if I wanted to be successful at this, I had to run a challenge group. I had no idea what the heck that meant, but I'll get my family in and I'll at least tell my mom to go for a walk and pretend like she's exercising to get someone posting. And so that's kind of how I started my business, sharing my story and just encouraging people to get moving and sharing what I was going through every single day. October came up and it was breast cancer month, and that really struck home with me. So we did a breast cancer awareness group, and it was a free group, but it was centered around, let's just get moving to raise awareness. Let's get moving to decrease your risk for breast cancer and just support other women. Let's do this together. And that was my first time I really saw free groups kind of like gaining some traction and attention. I was able to get a couple breast cancer survivors in there, and then was hitting Success Club thanks to those free groups. I hit Success Club every single month since I started, but in the beginning, I didn't care if they bought a challenge pack or not. I led with that and knew I had to hit Success Club, but I knew it was so important to give to others first. And who am I to come into this business right off the bat and like swing for everything? Let's give to people first and know if I can get them in my groups and they see what I have to offer, they're going to purchase from me. And so that's kind of how things went. And I was doing pretty good. I got some results from 21 Day Fix. People were getting more excited, wanting to join. I did really good. So I started in August. January came, 80 Day Obsession launched last year, had a great January, hit like Success Club 12. And then Team Cup month came, right? We're in Team Cup right now. And everything changed. I told my coach, I'm like, listen, I want to be on your team. You're the top 10 coach in the company. I want to rock this Team Cup with you. I'm going to bust this and we're going to like go all in. And I lost sight of everything I started this business for. I became that salesperson that we're all afraid of becoming, right? Every other post was, here's this discount, here's this deal. I did a free group and the first thing in there was, here's a Shakeology discount, sign up with me. And I didn't get anyone to sign up. I got some signups through a referral through a teacher friend on Instagram, but it really hit home. What are you doing this business for? Why did you start this business? And so I had to think, you're putting in that time and hustle in the beginning and you're not making the paycheck that you're putting in the time and hustle for. So it was, is this worth it? And I had to go back to my why. And my why was my son. And so I looked at him and I'm like, failure is not an option. I want to be home with you. Let's figure this out. Let's go back to what was working in the beginning, and that was providing content and value to people. Hey, let's go ask those people who signed up with you what they need help with, right? Like as coaches, we should be checking in with our people and seeing what they need help with. They're going to tell you so many answers. You want to know what to post about? Ask your clients what they're struggling with, because that's going to be a mass majority of your followers as well. And so I asked them and they're like, well, we need help with meal prepping. I'm like, really? I was like, I hate meal prepping. So I'm like, all right, let's go out. And I made this killer meal prep really fast because I hate to meal prep. And I'm like, well, my challengers liked it. Let's not just share it with them. Let's open that up to a free group and let's just see what happens. Let's do a meal prep group and then we'll sneak in some workouts and other things as well. And I did the post and it blew up. I had over 40,000 reach. I had over 350 people in the group. I couldn't keep up with the messages. My husband was sending them. I was sending them. And it clicked. You have to give something to people first. You have to offer them something if you want them to trust you, if you want them to come in and see what you have to offer. And so I began to kind of fine tune that as the year went. I was able to hit diamond end of January, February of last year. And it was like helping two people underneath of me who were clients, helping them get to emerald. So last year at this time, you guys, I was sitting here as a diamond coach. I had two coaches who were going to try and work the business, but I pretty much helped them get to emerald. And I had no idea what elite was. So if you're sitting here and you have no idea what it means, I didn't either. My coach was like, what do you want to be this year? Elite or Premier? I'm like, which one's better? We'll go for it. I had no idea about those things. I just went back to the basics. Obviously, I always knew I wanted to hit Success Club, but I knew that I had to help people first. And I had to attract my audience, which was moms who were busy, who didn't want to spend a ton of time cooking. And so we really fine-tuned those groups. And I'll go over a little bit of that for you guys so you know what that process looks like. We do 5-day free groups. And normally my attraction to my group is nothing Beachbody related. Normally my attraction to my group is meal prepping or it's a recipe. So I invite a couple different ways. I'll do public posts and I will do something about my meal prepping, say throw an emoji below to join, and that's how I'll get people in there. I like to use really pretty recipes. So I'll do that one of two ways. I'll either say, this recipe is going to be just one in my free group next week. Throw an emoji below if you want to join. Or I'll say, hey, who wants this recipe? Throw an emoji below. Throwing emoji below creates the engagement. So it's going to get more eyes on the page. And then I'll send them a newsletter with the recipe. But in that newsletter, we'll also have links to my free groups where they can find more of my recipes. So it's one of two ways that I use those. And I also found I struggled with inviting. I don't know if any of you hate to invite. I don't know. I hate to invite. But inviting to a free group is really easy for me, because it's not salesy. We're all afraid of being salesy, right? Well, for me, it was like, I'm not asking them to buy anything. I know if they get in this free group with me, they're gonna wanna buy something. So let's just mass invite to these free groups. And so that is how I got comfortable inviting. That is now how I help my coaches get comfortable inviting. And the invite's short and sweet. It's, hey, we're going to do a free group next week. We're going to share meal prepping. We're going to do some daily giveaways, and you'll get a free workout program to keep. Would you be interested in joining us? So they say yes. We sign them up with Clean Week. It's free. They don't have to put in a credit card. They keep it forever. Then once they get into our group, it's, like I said, a 5-day group. And every day we're focusing on something a little bit different. So it's all really nutrition-based and motivational-based. This is like my prep week for my challenge group. So Monday's Motivational Monday and Tell Me Your Why. I want them digging into why they really want to do this. They might have joined for meal prep, but I'm going to trick them into saying that they need to get some exercise in too. And Tuesday's like Thankful Tuesday. Tell me something you're thankful for. Over the course of the week, if they complete 3 of the Clean Week workouts, post 3 times to the group, and comment on 3 other people's posts, they get entered in a $25 gift card giveaway. So that's kind of how I get them into working out and creating that engagement piece. And then it's really simple. Once the group's over, I check in with them and say, hey, how'd your week go? If they say it went great, then I say, awesome, I want to continue. You want to continue with us? We would love to have you. You're doing amazing. If they tell me, nope, it was horrible, I say, well, let's work together. Let's do this together, and I'll help you get back on track. And so that is kind of how I get clients and how I get them in. Vast majority of my coaches come from people who come in and get results from the program and just love it and want to share it too. So what I'll do once they get in my full group and they start seeing results, I'll say, hey, we're doing a free group next week. Would you mind double posting and just putting in some comments to help with engagement for me? They almost always say yes. And then at the end of the week, I'm like, well, hey, you're doing everything I do as a coach, right? You ought to come check this out with us. And then a lot of them see how simple it is, how nice it feels to compliment someone, and they say, thanks for the motivation. And then I throw them into a sneak peek, and that's where a bunch of my coaches come from. So that's kind of how things got started last year. I will tell you, big momentum pieces were going to the Diamond Retreat that my coach hosted last May really helped me get more coaches and attract them to me. Something about going to a free trip in a mansion, I guess people liked. So I don't know. I shared that and they loved it, and I got a lot of people from that. And going to Summit, I know people tell you that all the time. And listen, I'm the person who wasn't going to go. We decided the week before we were going to drive, my husband and dog and my son stayed in a hotel room so I could go to Summit. And it was such a game changer, again, for just recruiting coaches, my confidence, really reigniting that fire and passion in my business. So if you can get to Summit, go. If you've never been, that's like one of those trust things. Like your coach tells you get to Emerald these many days, trust them. They tell you to go to Summit, trust them. Just go to Summit. It's awesome. It really helped the momentum in my business. And so then we came back, and Transform 20 test group was coming up. So you guys all have that chance right now. And I wanted to be in Transform 20. I had to stop running, and Shaun T saved my life with Insanity Max 30 and really probably helped my business because I fell such in love with that program. So I was like, listen, we are going all in, and we're not going to be that salesperson that we were last time. We're just going to give more. We are going to give more content, inspire more people. We're going to go all in. I did 2 free groups that month, ended up hitting Success Club 50, which got me into the test group. And again, another way to change your business, another way to get in, try something before anyone else. And it kind of forces you to go all in with a program. So if you've never gone all in with a program, even if you're not in the test group, go all in with a program. And that means a nutrition plan too. So I think that's the one that so many people don't follow through with. And having that accountability and saying, listen, my results not only affect me and motivate my clients, it also represents this entire community. So I want to do that program justice. And so that was another huge game changer, and just kind of going all in and being a part of that group and working one-on-one with the trainers. So if you guys are pushing, just keep pushing, because it is so worth it to get into those groups. We did not even have elite on our radar really even at that point. So I had attracted coaches. They were doing okay. I was still finding my way as a leader. So my coach is a top 10 coach. And so I was doing a lot of stuff underneath of her. And rightfully so. I mean, I felt like I had to take this business one step at a time. And so if you were way back at the beginning, just think, what is the next thing to move my business forward? Don't be thinking website design when you're not even an Emerald coach. It's one step at a time. And so after our diamond retreat that we went on in May, I had reached out to her and said, Holly, I want to co-host your next diamond retreat with you. I did not have my coaches at that time. I had no idea where they were, but I knew I could find them. And I knew that if I put it out there, I was going to make it happen. And so part of that is like having that confidence that you can do it and not getting comfortable where you're at. That kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone to do that. Going on that retreat in October helped me pop 2 total diamonds. So I managed to get my husband to diamond through the summer. And in October, I went into a 1-star. At the retreat, I managed to pop 2 more. So I was 3-star. I had 1 more close. I'm like, 4 is good. Premier is pretty good. And so I was happy with that. I had a coach come to me, and she was someone I knew, a very hard worker. And she's like, hey, I want a coach. And I was like, okay. And so I'm sitting there looking, and every time I just wanted to make something happen in my business, it was a decision to make it happen. And I looked and I'm like, hey, do you want to help us hit this big goal? If we rally around you, will you help us get to this? This could mean huge things for us. And she said, yes. And so we did this as a team. We made going for an elite a team goal. And by every sense it is. For the longest time, I struggled with that because I'm like, well, elite, like I get the credit. I get a nice bonus. Like that's cool. What does it mean for my team? And I am just now starting to see all of that, to be honest with you. It was, again, one of those things, my upline's like, listen, just trust me, it's a team thing. Tell your team it's a team thing and make it happen. So that's what we did. But now I'm seeing it come. Now I'm seeing how being in Roundtable is giving me all these incredible resources for my team. While I had those for my upline, if you want to be the business owner and you want to make this something, you have to step up and be your own leader. I don't, now I don't want my coaches going to Holly. I'm their leader. We want to make this team go to the top. So that was part of me knowing I had to step up and do this for myself. My coach provides incredible training for my team, but you know what? They show up when I'm the one hosting it and bringing the speakers in, and just all the resources you get being in Roundtable, the collaboration with everyone. I wouldn't be here talking to you right now if that didn't happen. So again, if you're going for elite, maybe that's on your radar, keep it on your radar, but remember too why you went into this business and always focus on that. If you can help people get results, if you can truly be that good coach, there's nothing better than getting referrals from your clients. And that's what's kind of starting to come through in my team now. Also, I love to highlight my clients on my page when they get results. That one kind of shows them how good it feels to share their journey and come into coaching. And 2, helps other people see what they're doing. So I have 7 takeaways. If I could tell you my 7 top tips for success. Number 1, you have to get results in some way, shape, or form. You have to have some kind of transformation. So whether that's mental, physical, in your life, whatever it is, and share it. And don't be afraid to share from day one, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But with the bad, always put that positive spin on it. Not I'm struggling, but I'm working to be better at this. So that way people can see that positive mindset and what that can do for them when they're struggling. Invest back into your business. So, if you want to grow a 6 to 7 figure business, you got to put a little bit back into it. And it doesn't have to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. I tell my coaches, maybe take 10% of what you make and put it back. Maybe set a budget each month. That $25 gift card I give away in my free group goes a long way. If I get one sign up, I've made that back. And trust me, I get way more than one sign up. And invest wisely. So for me, I'm not well on Instagram. I struggled to grow it. I finally just went and I hired someone to grow my Instagram. So just be smart with what you're doing. It is a business. So think like a business owner. If I can give this much into my business, what can it give back to me? So be okay to make some of those investments. If you want to 10x anything, 10x what you're giving to other people. It never fails. When you give to others, it comes back to you tenfold. So don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid to inspire people. Don't be afraid to do something that you might not get paid for. I wasn't guaranteed to get any signups from that free group, but I knew that if I could make that work and invest in people, it would give back to me. But it always came with that servant mindset first of just giving and not expecting anything in return. Be consistent. You have to be consistent as a coach. And I know we hear this all the time, but if you want someone to buy a $160 challenge pack for you for a year, you better be showing up every day so they know you're going to be here in a year from now. Same thing with your coaches. If you want someone to trust you to take that leap and start a business, it's kind of scary when you first think about it. Although you get into it, it's like, what the hell was I worried about? You have to know that you're going to be there for them and you're going to help them and you're going to support them. Have a plan and execute. So again, that goes back to being a business owner. If you can write down what your month looks like, that always helps me with what I'm posting. So if I have a sneak peek coming up this week, all my call to action posts are about coaching. And then my fun posts are about working out or just mom life. And then it switches when we go to challenge groups. So then I'm really call to action on challenge groups, but fun posts about mom life, fun posts about coaching with no expectation in return. Never get comfortable where you are. Just like you have to push through those comfort zones when you're working out and trying to get to the next level, you have to do that in coaching. So whatever that next step is, whatever that thing is that's holding you back, just do it because you're going to find out what awesome things can happen from it. And last and most importantly is have fun. When you are having fun with this business, when you really enjoy it and you do the things that set your heart on fire, it's going to attract all those people who are just like you. And that energy is going to be contagious. So you guys, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But thank you so much for letting me share that with you.
Oh my gosh, so good. Anybody have questions, you guys? We've got plenty of time.
Oh yeah, I'll just hop right in here. Ashley, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us tonight. Like, you are just a light. And so I've been coaching for like about 3.5 years, and free groups and like running 5-day Shakeology groups and stuff like that back even before we had Clean Week was definitely something that I did like clockwork every month to really build that trust with, I was still very much using my warm market at that time and everything. So having that reminder, because sometimes, when you've been in the business for a few years, you can forget kind of what those tricks were in the beginning. So I really appreciate you talking about that tonight. When you guys run your free groups, do you start a new group every month, or do you have kind of like a ongoing group that you do, that you run the same, you come back to every month, or what do you do?
I do a brand new group every month. My goal now is at least 100, if not 150 people in each group. And so that becomes a fine line of not getting taken advantage of. Like, you can come to my free group once or twice, but you're not going to live in my free group. So we close them out, I archive them, and start a new one.
Okay. Do your coaches run the group with you? Do your diamonds run their own? Do they kind of team up and do them? How do you guys do it?
So what we're doing is the first month of my coaches were really like one-on-one talking and like getting them onboarded. So the first month they can do one with me and they join that group with me. After that, I kick them out of the nest. You can pair up with somebody else, but you got to go start doing it yourself. You want to be successful in this business, you gotta fly. So I try and kick them out in a nice way.
Anyone else, you guys? So many good things. Those were actually the same questions. We constantly talk about, okay, we need to go back and we need to do free groups, and then it's just like hasn't happened the last couple months. So
I have a question. When you're setting up your marketing like strategy for the month, do you run your free group like the same like specific week of the month so that you can kind of like funnel people in?
I try to. I mean, it really just depends on what's going on in the business, what is like on sale. And I have one big virtual gym where they go to after that. I actually this month am just trying to do one step in between that and do a small 21-day group to kind of ease them in, because my big gym has gotten big and it's kind of overwhelming. So it just kind of depends. I'm kind of trying to roll it that way now. So we'll do a free group. Then we'll kind of have a little prep week, 21 days, and you join into my big group.
And you said your free groups are mainly like nutrition focused, or yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of nutrition. Everybody has to eat. And that's where I get a lot of people to get in those groups. We sneak in the workouts. So I kind of like passively like, hey, you want that gift card? You better go work out. And kind of get them moving that way. Because a lot of times it just takes people just the push to hit play.
Yeah, for sure. And what did you say they had to do to get in the drawing for the gift card? What were all the requirements?
Normally it's 3 workouts during the week. Then they obviously have to post their workout to the group. And then they have to go through and comment on 3 other people's posts throughout the course of the 5 days.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, helps very much with engagement in your groups too. There was one month where I did it and I did not do that. Oh, it was horrible. Like, I was like, what the heck just happened? I had like 150 people in that group. So I repeated it the week after because I'm like, we ain't settling with this. And then I put that gift card thing back in there and it was amazing the difference it made.
That's awesome.
Do you talk about Shakeology in the free group or offer them an upgrade like when you are setting them up with Clean Week? So everyone that's going into the group, since you're setting them up with Clean Week, are all automatically getting added as your like free customer already. Which is awesome. So when do you kind of start planting the seed about like Shakeology or something like that?
Normally it's part of my daily giveaways. So sometimes that intrigues some questions. And then I do one post where I just really talk about it and why I chose it. And I share a bunch of recipes because they're going to be getting the samples. So too, I'm like, here's some recipes if you guys need them for when you get it. When I have really like massive amount of people wanting to join, I have a Google form that they fill out to get into it. And there is an option if they want to purchase the sampler pack. But yeah, Clean Week is free. So that was a game changer. Like, they don't have to put in their credit card, which is huge. So that's another nice thing about it.
Yeah, I love Clean Week. Definitely, I'm not utilizing it like it should be. How far ahead do you advertise for your free group?
Not more than a week. Normally, if it's going to start on Monday, it's like Wednesday, Thursday before. People forget.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they sign up on Sunday. So I plan for that Sunday to be kind of busy.
I've found the same thing.
Usually sorry.
No, you're good. Go for it.
Do you usually give them like, this is what our meal plan is going to be for the week with like grocery lists and like all of that, or does it kind of depend on the group? Or
so I just set them up in the beginning of the week with 80-20, and then I just share my tips as the week goes. So if they wanted to like meal prep the week after, they could. That way there's not too much stuff up front. We'll just keep it simple, and I share all those tips throughout the course of the week.
I had a question about what is the easiest way for you to move, because I assume you're using like a Facebook group, right? So like, how do you move your Instagram followers to your Facebook free group? You know what I mean? So you're posting on Instagram about your free group and you're having them drop that emoji, or is that how you're doing that? I assume. And so then how are you best filtering them over to your free group? What does that look like?
I direct message them, and then I usually just have a link with a newsletter I created on MailChimp, and it just has the link to the Facebook group. If they're one of those people like, I don't have a Facebook, I'm like, well, you can just create a login. It's no different than creating a login on an app. I don't know why people freak out about that. Like, you have to add me as your friend. Just create a login to get in my group. If they don't want to do it, then I'd say, don't worry about it, because my groups are run through Facebook. My clients love Facebook. I tried to go to the app and they all like, put us back in Facebook. So that's where we run our groups.
Awesome. Okay, I was just wondering if you did like a link, and then that way they didn't have to, you know what I mean? Like figure out how to find you and all that. Like, I don't know, people make it way more complicated than it is, I feel like.
Yeah, I like to message them, at least ask their email, and I pop it into share a cart, because there has been an occasional like, hey, I'm already a coach, like trying to freeload on my free groups. And so I'm cautious of that.
Yeah, awesome.
Bonnie asked, did you say you do a daily giveaway? So do you daily giveaway on top of the entry for the drawing?
Yep. And it's really simple stuff to help get them involved. So like post a motivational quote, drink your water and post a picture of your water. Like, it's normally all food focused, in case maybe there is that person in there that can't exercise, so that they still have something to participate in.
And then just a sample, something to give them. Oh, sorry, Leslie.
It's okay. Go ahead.
No,
we're all like picking your brain like crazy.
It's okay.
You for the next 25 minutes, whether you like it. And do you like, what do you gift them? Like Starbucks gift cards, or is it just like Energize? Like
fake samples
of our products? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I got plenty of it stashed up. Those in my free groups.
Beach bars. For days, huh, Logan?
Beach bars are expensive to ship, though. I used to do beach bars all the time, and shipping went up. The suckers are like $4 to ship. So
yeah,
Energize is cheap.
Yeah, there you go.
Noted.
Okay, so obviously your main goal in these groups is to build trust with people. So what are your like best tips on how to build trust with a group of 150, 200 people?
Go live and make sure you're in there commenting on every single person's post.
Awesome.
Yeah, it takes time. It's a lot of effort. And I share a lot of like, so I almost go live every day. Like one day is just like going through my kitchen and like, these are my favorite kitchen staples. And, we'll just talk about a couple little things. I try and keep them short because people don't have a ton of time either, but just getting face to face with people. I know if I can talk to you, you're going to want to at least know more about my group. If you're my right person. So keep that in mind too. I will tell you, on average, 10% of the people of these groups only actually do the workouts at the end. And I probably get a 10% sign up rate. But still, if I'm getting 100 people in there, I'm okay with that.
That sounds like a great percentage to me. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the other ones will come back. I know I've at least planted the seed. I at least know they now know what I have to offer. So a lot of them do. If they don't sign up right away, if time's not right, they'll come back.
Okay. Do you ever follow up with your old groups? And like what does that look like?
So normally my inviting process is really just now cycling through people who I've connected with before. So generally, if they haven't signed up, normally like I'll go back 3 months and I'll invite every single person I talked to in October and invite them again. I say, hey, we're doing a new group to get ready for summer. We know winter was busy. Are you ready you want to try it out again with us? A lot of times you like those seasons, right? Like Christmas got busy, but now people are thinking about spring break and summertime. So they're ready to kind of get into it. There's always an excuse. Right now it's when taxes are over. A couple months it'll be when summer's over. Then it's when school's over. So, just hitting that season when they feel ready.
Okay. Are you re-inviting them to the free group, or are you inviting them to like your bigger challenge group?
To a free group.
How many times do you let somebody do a free group? Because I've sometimes, when we were doing these super consistently, I've run into where it was like, I mean, we're doing the same thing. How many times are you going to do this?
Yeah. I don't get too many of those. I mean, if they're in there that many times, they ain't getting giveaways again. I can tell you that. Like, their name's not going in the drawing. But I I just this month though had one that's probably done it 3 or 4 times, and finally she's like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the person. You can kind of get a feel for someone if they're just using you, or if they're just really just maybe not ready to commit, or maybe you haven't found the thing that hits home with them yet. Sometimes I try and think of a different message, and that'll strike a chord with certain people.
Yeah, that's so good. So true. Okay, Ashley says, do you let your current challengers in the group?
Yeah, I'll open it up to them. If it's a month where I'm like, I really need more people engaging, absolutely. They're more than welcome to come dual post. Some of them just like a refresher on meal prep, or some of them feel like they just need a reset. So they're welcome if they want to join.
And you ask them, say, hey, do you mind posting in here? Like, don't just sit in here and be a fly on the wall. Like, if you're going to be in here.
Normally, yeah, if I need the engagement, I will. But in the beginning, I did that a lot. In the beginning, I was like, hey, will you guys come do this? Because when I first started free groups, you guys, like my goal was 10 people. If I had 10 people in a free group, I was happy with that. And so I would invite them in those ones. And don't be afraid, like, Mom, will you go work out today and post a picture? Like reach out to your friends and family when you're just struggling to get that engagement. My family, I forced them into it in the beginning, and now it's just amazing to see how far they've come because I pushed them into it. So
I love that. Mine's the same. My dad is actually like, you guys need to go see his Instagram page. He posts a sweaty selfie there every single day. He's almost done his Transform 20. Okay.
But I love that you take that personal responsibility about the group. Like you see that nobody's posting, so you're like, hey, can somebody go post, instead of just being like, oh, it's dead in here, this group sucks. Because I've totally done that. Been like, well, this group kind of sucks, and just been like, it's not that awesome. And you know what I mean? I'm just owning the fact that I've done that instead of just being like, well, maybe I should get people to go post other than me. You just have to be accountable for it. So that's a good gut punch for me, honestly.
You can use your other coaches too. You wouldn't know if I came to your group and pretended like I was a challenger. So sometimes we'll do that as a team for new coaches. On Monday, we'll say, post your free group in the link below and we'll come all be challengers in your free group. So that's another way too, as a team, that you guys can support each other.
I like that. That's awesome. That's why we're a team, you guys. Okay, Bridget asked, do you do the same thing each month? Do you switch it up? Do you use different recipes, or is it yeah, switch it up?
I cycle my recipes a little bit, but the same flow is the same. Once you get a flow that works, it's simple because you go in on Sunday night, you schedule all your posts, and you just let them fly. If I see that a group wants something more, they're struggling with water intake, we'll flip it up a little bit and do Thirsty Tuesday. But generally it's the same flow.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't think I ever found my flow with a free group. I want to though, because I know how valuable they are. That's why whenever you mentioned this, when we were talking about what you were going to talk about, I texted Logan and we were like, yes, this is what we need, because we keep okay, let's bring back free groups. Okay, what are we going to do? And it's just we just need to do it. So I love that is what leveraged you from a baby emerald coach to leading your team to an elite team this year. And I love how you rallied your girls together. That's exactly how we did it at the end of the year too. I was like, all right, you guys, we have the people, let's do this together. And it was so much fun because it's such a team effort. Okay, any other questions? We have her for 10 more minutes to pick her brain. Yes, go giver mentality. All right, anyone else? Okay. Ashley, anything else you want to share with us before we let you go, girl?
No, thank you guys so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to share. So, and you guys asked some awesome questions. So thank you.
Well, we're so thankful that you took time out of your night tonight to be with us. I'm so excited to go back and implement some of these things and get back into free groups, because I think that's something we're kind of missing right now. So thank you so much for your insight, and we will see you soon, girl.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Bye, Ashley. All right, guys. We will see you in the team page this week. Love y'all.